If you're trying to get your pest control company to $10,000 a month, I actually don't think you should be spending money on marketing yet. I know that kind of sounds backwards, but every week I talk to owners spending money on Facebook ads, Google ads, and every other marketing tactic they can find. And most of them skip the things that should have been getting them customers for almost nothing. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the playbook I'd use for my first $10,000 a month before I ever spent serious money on marketing. Hey guys, I'm Jonas, Olson, the founder of Pest. I've been in the service industry for 17 years, and over the past 5 years, I've got a pest control company from one location to 20 locations across 9 states. I use this channel to document how I think about building service companies, what's actually working for us. I wish my mentors would have documented their journey, so I'm documenting mine for you. So a few weeks ago, a guy reached out on social media because he just started a pest control company. He was doing what almost everyone else does. He was spending money on marketing because he figured that's just how you get customers. The problem was that the numbers weren't working out in his favor. His Facebook ads were costing way more than he expected. Google just wasn't producing enough calls, and every customer felt super expensive. And he started wondering if this business would ever work. So I asked him a series of questions and just told him that there's a few things that he should be doing if you start spending serious money on marketing. Most of these things cost little to nothing, and together they can build enough momentum to get your first $10,000 a month relatively quick. That's exactly what this video is about. I'm going to walk you through the exact order I do them, why they work, and how I'd use them to build a profitable pest control route without burning through thousands of dollars on ads. Hold up, quick pause. If you're on a pest control company or fertilization weed control company, you're not in our Facebook group, you're choosing the harder path. Every operator that's in there is skipping years of mistakes because people are actually sharing what's working right now. So stop trying to brute force your way through growth alone. Search Pest Control Millionaires on Facebook or click the link below. And now let's get back to it. So the first thing I tell you guys is just go get a simple website made, build it yourself. There's so many tools out there, but don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a masterpiece at this point. Just make sure it's up to speed, up to date. There's lots of tools you can use to check the speed of the site, but just make sure you have a home page, you have one page for each service and one page for each city that you service. Make sure you just have a clear phone number and a quote form on every page. We'll talk about this later on in the video, but make sure you guys are taking lots of video and content when you're out there. Use this content, start putting it on your website, start building lots of traffic for SEO. And with all the AEO and AGO stuff coming out, just make sure that the large language models can read your site really, really fast. Start building a site. But build it for homeowners first, and then obviously Google second. Today with ChatGPT, Claude, like I said, you can build almost anything yourself, especially if you're on a budget early on. So start with a simple website, get it up, get it rolling. It's one of the first things you guys should be doing. Next thing I tell you guys to do is go get a Google My Business. This is relatively simple, but set it up before you do almost everything else. Make sure you just fill out every single form field that they ask for. Make sure you put in every service that you offer. Make sure you add in service areas, zip codes, upload photos. I like to upload photos every single week. Stay consistent. You know, if we post every Tuesday, just keep adding new photos, 1 to 2 photos every single week to keep it relevant. Make sure when you guys get reviews, are you responding to reviews consistently? And a lot of people ask me the same question, can I just have AI respond to my reviews? And I say, yeah, you can. At least you're going to respond to, but I like to make it personal. Just go in there, tell them thank you. You tell them that you appreciate you, and these things go a long way. But this will become one of your biggest lead sources if you just treat it like a marketing asset instead of a directory listing, right? You're going to get so many calls to this. Just keep pouring leads into it. Keep pouring reviews into it. Keep adding pictures, and over time, this will be a huge asset for you guys. Next thing I tell you to do is go claim every free listing that you possibly can that's out there. From Yelp to Nextdoor to Yes, BBB if you want to. Another big one that I just thought off the top of my head is make sure you go not just Google, but Apple Maps as well. Apple Maps, yes, it might be behind times a little bit, but a lot of people are switching over to Apple Maps. Make sure you claim your listing to Apple Maps. It's free. Bing places. Thumbtack, right? Thumbtack, it makes a lot of sense in your market. We have one of our markets that absolutely crushed on Thumbtack. Of course, you can go make a business Facebook page. Of course, go make an Instagram page. Goal isn't to get hundreds of leads, right? It's just building trust everywhere someone sees you. If someone calls in your office or looks you up online, they're gonna go check your social media real quick, make sure you have a pulse, and they're gonna jump back into your website, and they're gonna go through the cycle like, okay, these guys look pretty cool. Go through your website, fill out the lead form, and then call the office. So just make sure you go out there and find every free listing that you possibly can, fill them out. Also make sure that your times are the same across the board. So if you're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., make sure that it's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single lead listing. So when Google and the AI agents are out there scrolling everything just looks identical, and make sure that you're a legit business and it will serve SEO purposes for you in the future. The next thing, which I've talked about a lot on this channel, is just go get yourself a basic CRM. You don't need anything fancy. You need somewhere that all these leads live. You track where every lead comes from. When they come in, make sure you're tracking the sources. Send estimates immediately. Obviously, you want to try to close them on the phone. Can't close them on the phone. Make sure you follow up with an estimate. Track, won versus lost estimate. See what your close rates are. Make sure you follow up until they buy, or at least they tell you no. Because if you aren't measuring these things, you can't improve where you guys need work. There's lots of good softwares out there. Obviously there's things like Gorilla Desk, there's Go High Level. These things can link together so you can have all your marketing, all your sales, all of your routing, all in one platform. Makes it really nice. You can run leads into there. You can track where they are. You can check their sources. You can move them over to scheduling. You have the scheduling notes. You can route routing. You can move into routing. So scheduling every day. But simple CRM. You guys can't afford not to be using a CRM at this point. They're like a couple $100 a month. I get it might sound expensive from day one, but that's literally 1 to 2 customers every single month that just pay for your CRM. And I promise you, making this move from day one will make it a lot further. Back then, there just wasn't even any online tools. So I was using Google spreadsheets and writing on paper, trying to do as much as I possibly could until you just can't. And I was so frustrated. I finally searched online and something I just dropped called Service Autopilot. So I jumped on the platform and it was the best thing since sliced bread. From that day forward, I tell every single person you can't go a single day ever without a CRM. Just make sure when you guys have the CRM built out, that you guys start building automations behind it. I still see a lot of companies that just send out a quote and it just disappears and never gets followed up with. I promise you guys the money's in the follow-up. I preach this to my sales guys as well. Don't just assume that because they didn't respond, they're not interested. People are just busy, right? In a perfect world, in my opinion, you should have a 21-day follow-up. I've had people sign up on the 21st day, the way it's worded. Again, people just get busy, they have busy lives, they got kids, they got events, and they're running all over town, and they forgot, oh crap, the last thing they want to do is think about pest control, honestly. And when people do say no, fine, so be it. At least you can check them off the list, you can move on to the next one and spend more time in the follow-up of the next one. They should call every single day, email every couple days, text every couple days. Just make sure you're following up with them on a consistent basis so they don't get lost in the weeds. You guys already paid for these leads, and so make sure you stay on top of them. Next thing I tell you is I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I talk about it so much on this channel, but make sure that you guys just answer your phone every single time. This industry is super old. This industry is super slow. Speed wins. The first company answers the phone usually gets the appointment. Try not to let calls go to voicemail, but if they do go to voicemail, it's not the end of the world. Just make sure that those calls didn't call back within 2 to 3 minutes. People are usually calling 3 to 5 companies, so by the time you wait those 33 minutes, you're pretty much the second or third one on the list at this point. And if the other person just answers their phone, they're probably going to get the deal. Don't be afraid to answer it after hours, right? If it says that you're open till 5, like you guys need money, you guys are trying to get to that first $10,000, make sure to answer the phones at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. You guys have more time than you have money at this point. Either way, answer the calls, even if it's after hours, and this will go a long way for you guys. So now that you guys kind of have the foundation built, every piece of marketing becomes more effective. Now let's talk about what you should be doing every single time you pull up into a customer's driveway. You guys want to turn every service into a marketing machine. Obviously, talk a lot about branding your trucks and the book itself, but if you can't afford a wrap, that's fine. They're expensive right away. So some wraps are $3,000 to $5,000 to $8,000, $10,000. You guys don't need that. At first, even if you guys don't want to, you just go buy yourself a magnetic sign. It's still better than just a plain white chalk. It shows that, you have your company name. It's easy to read. But every time you guys pull up into a customer's yard, every mile that you guys drive down the road, it's free advertising. You guys can go get stickers made for just a couple $100, put them on yourself. It's not that difficult, but it does go a long way, I promise. If you're not servicing that day, go park it where people can see the truck. You have a busy mall, busy parking lot, just go park it there. People will see it. They say that, I think the average at these days, they have to see you 21 times before they have a buy from you. All these things matter to compile together, and it starts building momentum. It starts saying that, oh, I've seen your truck here and there, blah, 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 right? You're letting people know you and trust you. Next thing you want to do when you're at every single property is use a yard sign. Put one in every single service where it makes sense. Leave it for a day or two. If customers are okay with it, 9 times out of 10, your customers won't care. They might leave it up for 2 days, a week. They might leave it up for a month. Some people call you to ask you if you have extra ones. So you just never know. They almost cost nothing. And neighbors are actually, just curious as they walk by. They might have an issue, and they walk by, see your lawn sign, maybe you take care of 5 or 6 or 10 people on the same street and they walk by 10 different signs, all these things matter. And they see you, they remember the problem that they have, and they take a picture on their phone, and then when they get home, they sit down for dinner, they're gonna give you guys a call, look at your website. But again, every time you're at a customer's house, make sure that you leave a yard sign. Don't minimize these things, they work in a massive way. So now you get your trucks magnetized, or you got a wrap, whatever you guys did. You're obviously putting lawn signs. Next thing you guys are do is ask for a review. Obviously, reviews build trust before they ever talk to you, they ever meet you in person. But if you find a happy customer, which at this point you're servicing them all yourself, you guys can have a text link on your phone that you can text them. You can have a QR code on your phone that they can just scan. Ask them to do it right in front of you. If you have a technician, maybe have a technician go do it. But I'm assuming at this point, trying to get $10,000 a month, ask the customer for a review. Again, when the next person looks up pest control, they're gonna see you have, maybe you have 25, 30, 45-star reviews. And one thing I was just mentioning here is don't be embarrassed to ask. Like, it's the day of 2026, everyone is asking, but you'll never get what you don't ask for. So you guys gotta get out of your shell. The little improvements every single day, over time, if you ask 5, 10 people a day, all these things will go away. All the nerves go away. Just ask for it like it's normal. Everyone does it these days. Make sure just to ask for the review. Next thing you guys should ask for is a referral. If you guys go at each 10 customers, like you have 5 friends or family members that you can reach out to, that's an additional 25 people, right? That you can go talk to. Referrals are probably the best leads that you can possibly get. You're already trusted, they already like you, they're telling their friends, their neighbors, they're gonna reach out to them for you. But again, you go close 80% of these, you got 20 new customers. It's literally that fast. Now you went from 10 customers to, let's just say 20, 25 customers within the same day, just by asking for referrals. Even if you have a technician, start training them from day one to start asking for referrals. Back in the day, there just wasn't a great way to scale up the referral side. And we use Clicky for this to obviously get as many referrals as we can. So these things work. But again, you're going to go for first $10,000 a month, ask for referrals. Now, next thing that you guys can do on the property is make sure you guys are taking pictures and videos. You guys can do before pictures and after pictures. You could have, whether you're doing lawn care, before and after from weeds, grass, from light green to dark green compared to a neighbor's, or if you guys are doing wasp removal or rodent, anything you guys are doing. Obviously, you guys get the point. Make sure you guys are taking before and after pictures. You guys can post these on your social media. You guys can post these on your website. You guys can use these for ads in the future when you guys can start running ads, but make sure you're getting technicians working, smiling customer. All these things work really well. I promise you guys will never regret documenting your work. But there's still one thing that I want to talk about before you guys ever leave the property, right? And it's just go leave a door hanger. Say something simple like, hey, we're just servicing your neighbors, or maybe they have a neighborhood offer, but these things start building route density, right? You guys aren't chasing scatter customers all over town. You guys are just trying to build super tight routes. Of course, we have an entire book just on that one theory alone. And you guys don't start building the foundation of the company from the very beginning. The bigger that it gets, it doesn't really solve any problems. It actually just makes things a lot worse. But still, you have more time than money, right? And it's putting in the reps. You're going to get better. And it's okay if you're not outgoing. I was nervous too. The hardest door to open is your own. Again, you guys probably heard me tell the story a million times. I thought I was going to throw up, but I sold my first door. I got super lucky. And then I think I sold 3 or 4 more that day. But if you guys want to get to $10,000 super fast, just go over there and talk to someone. Tell them what you're doing. They tell you that they're not interested, cool, just walk away. You don't have to force it down their throat. You don't have to become super good at once. But again, it's just putting the reps over and over and over again. They say that it takes 10,000 reps to be perfection at everything. And with sales, you can constantly get better every single day. So in my opinion, sales is one of the first things you guys should learn as the driver and as the CEO of the company. So go out there, knock the doors, do the door hangers, simple things like this. Build out, first, 50, 25, 30, 50, whatever, 100 customers. Get to this $10,000 a month as fast as you possibly can. But if you guys just do these 5 things every single time you service the house, your customers will always start creating your next customer. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier. We guys would go into these neighborhoods. Just make sure that you have a neighborhood offer. Maybe you create a video just for that area that you're going to be in there. Maybe you have a door hanger just for that area, right? Make sure the offer is easy to read. Let them know they already work in the neighborhood. You have a neighborhood group rate, like I said. You have free inspections. Maybe you have a neighborhood special. Limited time offers because you're already there. But again, the whole goal behind this is to build as many customers in one area, create route density as much as you possibly can. Okay, so at this point, you guys have built foundation. You've learned how to generate customers. You've built systems. that can help you grow those customers as well. Now I want to show you something that's taken us years to build, but relationships that send us customers before they even start searching online. This is a really good lead source for us. This is one of the first things we do inside every single new market. We find the people who already service our customers. You just ask one simple question to yourself: who has my ideal customers, right? So we start to go out there and we build personal relationships with realtors, you have property managers, you have lawn care companies, landscapers, house cleaning companies, pool cleaning companies, HVAC, roofers, plumbing, wildlife companies, and maybe even other pest control companies. But this is a really good way to have a partnership program with some other local companies. And it doesn't have to be one of those companies. It could be one of each, or it could be multiple of each. It doesn't matter. You guys could have 10 people, 10 different companies that are all referring. Maybe they give you one customer a week. That's still 10 customers a week. Let's say your average contract value is $800. That's $8,000 a week just on referrals. But please just don't go say, hey, like, I want to work with you, and you're going to ask them for referrals. Bring them business first, even if you're just starting out. It's as simple as asking for them business cards, and you go start putting their business cards. Maybe you're putting your business cards attached to your door hangers. It's so easy just to go refer the people that you want to work with in the future. Because if you start bringing them business, or you maybe have a customer that you went into that has a HVAC problem, you call the HVAC guy that you talk to, or electric guy that you talk to, or the pool, right? Any of you guys get the point. You guys send them referrals first. Do the work for them first, so you're not just taking, you're giving them first, right? Inside of our PCM program, we teach us one specific topic. It's the exact word checks to say how to get their information, how to get them inside your next gen leads, how to get the leads going back and forth, how to incorporate clicky so that you're generating referrals all the time, not just for you, but you're giving them referrals as well. And you're passing information back and forth. Of course, you can find other pest control companies that are outside of your service area, companies that don't offer mosquito, companies that don't offer wildlife, companies that are just too busy, maybe like an old guy that's retired, right? Yeah, you guys talk to these guys and they're like, I can't take any more calls, I'm so damn busy. Cool. Well, let's work together. I can help you do X, Y, Z, and you can help me with extra leads. I'll pay you for those, right? He's still getting money for those calls. You can still handle those customers that are calling him. So again, build relationships is a massive win, but we call this strategic partnerships inside of our group. We have a whole plan just to teach you step by step exactly what to do. So marketing starts with building businesses that's easy to find, easy to trust, and very easy to recommend. If you build the foundation first, getting the first $10,000 a month becomes a whole lot easier, I promise, and you guys can do this relatively fast. What frustrates me is people say that they want to go do these things, maybe they have a little bit of money in their pocket, these things are all easy, but yet they still rely on Google, they still rely on Facebook to run ads. If you guys would just do 10 to 15 appointments every single day, whether that's you go into B2B, whether it's go talk to a neighbor, if you guys put in the work, I promise you guys get to $10,000 so fast. But it's the people who say they're willing to do everything. When they say everything, it really means nothing. Like, yeah, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, except for whatever it takes. There's just something inside their head that won't let them go. I promise that they overcame the fear and went all in for 5 years. Like my mentor says, those 5 years will change the next 50 years of your life. You're not competing with any of these companies, you're competing with yourself, you're competing with the company you were 6 months ago. Then once you've got consistent cash flow, paid marketing becomes something you depend on, becomes something you use to accelerate growth. You get all these things, tools in place, then you add paid ads to it. Now you have referrals, you have every door direct mail, you have postcards, you have reviews, you have lawn signs, Google leads, LSA, Facebook, run all ads on all platforms, TikTok, whatever it may be, right? This will just accelerate the growth massively. But if you enjoyed this video, let me know which strategy you're going to implement first. And if there's one that's worked really well for you that I didn't mention, make sure to drop it in the comments. Of course, I'd love to hear it. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.